So Tiger Woods has his famous 9 shots where he hits a left, middle, right, high, medium, and low. And Ed's gonna try to teach me how to hit some of these shots. Hopefully all 9, we'll see. Some of them are tougher than others, but kind of depends on your tendencies as a player and your abilities. So we're gonna try to go over all of these different shots and how you set up for it and how you do it when you're actually out on a golf course.
Yep, that's right. And it's pretty simple whenever you're approaching anything in your golf swing and your golf game. Setup matters, the path of the club matters, and the club face matters, and we'll discuss all that.
Absolutely.
One thing to understand if we're trying to hit a draw on purpose or a fade on purpose is that the path of the club or the swing plane or the shaft angle is a contributing factor to just hitting small curving shots one way or the other, right or left. I think you have to learn under pressure to not change very many variables. And so I set up slightly to play for these shots. If I was going to hit a small fade, I would aim up just slightly open or left of my target line. And if I was going to hit a draw, I would be just slightly to the right of my target line. But I wouldn't change how I hold the club. That's a big mistake a lot of people make. They try to either get a stronger grip or a weaker grip to hit these shots. In my opinion, that's a mistake. It'll work on the driving range when you got 50 balls to hit with in a bucket. But if you have to hit one shot to win a bet or one shot to win a tournament, it will not hold up under pressure. What I'm going to show you will work under pressure. So if I want to hit a fade on purpose, I'm going to aim slightly left. My flashlight's pointed at my target line. I'm not going to change my backswing. I'm still going to point at my target line with that end. I'm going to point at the target line with this end. I'm going to point at the target line down here. But on my follow through, I'm going to be slightly to the right of the target line. And then as I finish, this shaft is going to be steeper and this light is going to point inside my target line as I finish. I won't have to do anything with the club face. Just that path alone will produce a 10-yard fade or less. If I want to hit a draw, I'm just going to aim slightly to the right or closed with my stance. I'm not going to change my grip. I'm not going to change my backswing. I'm not going to change my downswing. But then on the way through my finish, this end of the club is going to swing so my light points to the right of the target line for a right-hander and I finish. And that'll hit a perfect little draw every time without really thinking about much other than the finish. Fades finish like this, draws finish like this. And you can set up a station with alignment sticks on the driving range and you'll teach yourself to hit those shots. So the first shot I'm going to talk about is how to hit a draw on purpose. All this will be as a right-hander, but a left-hander is just the opposite. So as a right-hander, I'm trying to hit a shot that curves right to left, but less than 10 yards. And that's ideal if I have a back left hole location. Or it's also ideal if I have a really strong left to right wind where I can hit a small draw and it'll help me straighten my shot out because I'm working the ball into the wind. That's how most tour players don't really work the ball into flag locations, but they'll work the ball into the wind with their irons to straighten it out. They don't tell you that on TV enough, in my opinion. But we showed you inside with the flashlight stick. So all I'm going to do here is set up slightly to the right of my target line. But again, my backswing is still going to be the exact same way as if I'm trying to hit it straight. And my downswing to start is still like I'm going to hit it straight. And then my finish is going to be with the shaft of the club over here where I'm pointing across my target line to the right of it, and that should hit a draw. And so I don't have to do anything with the club face other than to set up with the club face pointed at my target line. And all I'm going to do is change my finish path to hit a draw. So we're going to have Patrick come up here and try to do that, and I'm going to try to help him. And we'll see if he can accomplish this shot, and I think he can pretty easily.
You got a lot of faith in me.
Did you put it on a tee?
No,
yeah, no.
yet, yeah.
I'm going to let him tee it up. We're here in the wintertime in Missouri, and it's a pretty thin grass here, so he's just going to slightly tee it. And so go ahead and set up for me there.
Okay.
Good. Now that's square, so you're going to be just a little more closed with, nope, that's open.
Yep.
There you go. You're going to aim to the right just a little, and your face still points down the target line.
Yeah. I'm going to this red.
You're going
black
over
and white?
this,
Okay.
yes, and that's pointed at that post out there.
Yep.
And then as you finish, same backswing, downswing, but as you finish, you're going to feel
Over
like
here.
it's over here,
Okay.
and this handle is
It's
pointing
that
over
way.
that way.
Okay.
The more it points over this way, the more it'll hook.
Okay.
The less it will.
Yep.
If you really exaggerated this much, you'll probably top it.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm just exaggerating it here for demonstration
Makes sense.
purposes.
Okay, so
But go ahead and do
swing
that.
and
I'm
then-
just going to step back here where I could watch you, and you just go ahead and try to hit a few shots for
All
me
right.
like that. Yeah, that's what it wants to
that's
feel like.
right here.
Yep, just
All right.
like that. This is his first shot of the day, folks, and
Hey, that's pretty good.
that one was pretty doggone good.
Yeah.
It drew about 2 yards, but that was pretty good.
That's more draw than I usually get.
I agree. So just exaggerate that finish just
Even
a
more.
little more, but
Yep.
that was a really good swing there, Patrick.
I'm gonna in it.
Yeah.
Do you also want to get if you want more of a draw, you get your feet more angled, you think? Or
Yes,
a
I
little
do.
bit? Okay.
And so you want that ball to start to the right of that stick just slightly.
Right,
okay?
yep.
But with that finish. That's why I
Here.
put that stick out there.
Yep.
And that's how people will practice. If you put a alignment stick in the ground on your target line there, when you're hitting draws, you want to go to the right of it. When you're hitting fades, you're going to go to the left of it. So.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hey, look at that.
Yep. Perfect. We're going to stop on that one.
I got to before I mess it up.
Good shot. That was awesome.
That was great.
That was great. So, one thing I mentioned inside, but I'm going to re-emphasize it because not enough people understand this. When we're hitting draws, we end up closing the club face at impact. And whenever you close a club, you also are de-lofting it. So if I was a 5-iron distance from the green, but I'm trying to hit a hook or a draw, I might use a 6-iron or a 7-iron if I was really going to hit a big hook. And then the opposite's true when we're trying to hit fades. We're going to take a less lofted club, because when the face is open at impact, it also increases the effective loft of the club. So you have to understand that. Before we move on to fades, though, I want to talk about hooks, okay? So this would be the case if I'm behind a tree and I have to hook it around it to get out of trouble. Again, you can take a lot more lofted club because you're going to de-loft it a lot with a closed face. So I have a 6-iron here, and so I would exaggerate my closed stance, but I would take my grip so that the club face is pointing down the target line still. So in relation to my stance, that's a very closed club face position. And so from this angle here, if I went straight on, you can see how towed in I have this club, I hope, on video there. And so I'm going to set up right. I'm going to have my feet going where I want the ball to start and my club face going where I want it to finish. That's a very good, simple way to think about it. And I'm just going to hit it from there. And you might have to practice this to see where the ball position should be, but it's going to be pretty far back in your stance to hit a hook, or you'll top it coming out of here. So I'm going to have Patrick come up again, and he's never hit a big hook before, so this will be interesting. And then again, go ahead and just slightly tee it up. And if you're having trouble with this, tee it up at first to hit these hooks. At least it'll help you start to hook it, and then you can put the ball on the ground eventually and duplicate the same thing.
Okay, so we're getting
even more close than
close.
that.
Okay.
Keep going. Good.
Okay, and we want it slightly back in our stance?
Yeah, it'll be back, yep.
Okay, and then this is still pointing at the target line?
That's correct.
Oh, wow, even more.
Even more.
Wow.
And then you're still going to finish way over here.
Okay.
If that was your flashlight, it almost should hit me in the feet.
So from this position, I'm still backswinging on the target line
You are still
here?
on the target line, not inside.
Right, yeah, because
if you go inside, you won't hook it.
Right.
You just hit it straight where you're aiming.
So I really want to.
That's right. You have to go that way and then around, and it's going to your butt into the club. The flashlight would point out here where my feet are.
Yeah. Okay.
There, even more.
Even more. Wow.
Do it again. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So just
see what happens.
Just relax and hit one.
Yep.
You'll be all right. All right, do it again. He topped that one. That's all right.
I don't think I've ever set up for this extreme of one before.
That's all right. Good. Don't try too hard. Just hit it. Yep. That one hooked a little.
All right.
Not bad.
Had a little bit of a leftward movement on it.
This will hit a very low shot. Did you notice that went lower, Patrick?
Extremely low, yeah.
Yes. So when you're talking about those 9 shots, if you're going to hit a really low hook, this is how you're going to hit it.
That's the one right there.
Yeah. And if you're going to try to hit a high hook, you better be as good as Tiger.
All right.
There we go. Nice shot. Yeah. Really nice shot. Yeah. Good job.
Cool.
So we've talked about draws and hooks for a right-hander. Moving right to left a little bit and right to left a lot. To do it a lot, you have to use the club face. It has to be extreme. And so the same thing is true if we're going to start hitting fades and then starting to hit slices. So a fade, I'm going to aim just slightly to the left with my stance. But I'm still not going to change anything with my grip. The worst thing you can do is change your grip. If you change your grip, it'll work on the driving range. You got 50 balls to hit. After 10 or 15 of them, you ought to be able to figure it out. But if you're trying to beat somebody or shoot the best score of your life and you have to hit a fade on the last hole to do it, if you change your grip, you're going to choke. And so don't change your grip. Learn how to do it the correct way, and you can do it under pressure. So I'm going to aim just slightly open or left. My normal grip, still my normal backswing, still my normal downswing, but on my finish, this club, if it's a flashlight like we'll demonstrate, is going to point inside my target line to the left of it. So all I'm trying to feel is this club working that way, and that'll hit just the nicest little gentlest fade you've ever seen time after time. So here comes Patrick. What club you got there?
It's a 7-iron again.
Okay. And that's fine, but one of the things too is that when we open the face to hit a fade, we usually have to take a less lofted club to go the same distance.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind, but I'm gonna let him hit it with 7-iron.
Okay, so I'm opening up my stance a little. Ball position about
Where it would
normal?
normally
Okay.
be, maybe a tad forward when
Okay.
you open up, but
And then club face still pointing right down the target line.
correct.
And then I'm
You're
going
not
to
gonna
finish.
open the face.
And then I'm going to finish this way more.
That's correct.
This way, as opposed to this was the draw, so
That's
this
right.
is going to be.
That's gonna be the
fade.
fade, that's correct.
Okay.
And so we're gonna let our follow through plane or our follow through club path, however you want to describe it, determine the shot.
Yep. All right.
You hit it a little thin,
Little
but it's
thin.
a little fade. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it
Give it one
again.
more.
So if you hit it a little thin, don't play the ball quite so far forward.
Okay.
And you can experiment with that, folks, of where you're bottoming out when you're changing that follow through. Okay?
So I'm going to go a little more center now.
Yeah, and that actually might help you even hit a fade easier too.
Okay.
So. Beautiful.
There we go.
I know, and that's into the wind. The wind's blowing right to left here, so
Perfect.
that's a perfect
Yeah.
one. Yeah, good job. So now he's hit the fade. I don't know if Patrick knew you could hit a fade and a draw on a hook before today at all. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to talk about a slice. And that's going to curve more than 10 yards, maybe up to 40 if you had to hit that, okay? And so whenever it's going to be an extreme curve, we have to set up for it even more to the left. We have to still swing on a path on our finish that's going to promote a slice, okay? But then we've also have to have an open club face to that path. And whenever I open the face, I add loft. So you've really got to take a less lofted club to really hit a big slice. And for me, especially if I have more than 140 yards to go total distance, for me, at my age and swing speed these days, less loft probably means a 3-wood or a 5-wood or a 3-iron or a 3 hybrid, something like that. Just and that, gosh, with the 3 hybrid, I might only go 140 yards, but it would slice a lot. So I'm going to get rid of the 6-iron, and I'm going to take my 3-wood. And what I can do if I don't want it to go very far is I could choke down a lot on this 3-wood and really grip down 3 or 4 inches. That gets me closer to the ball. I'm going to be a lot more aimed to the left with my stance. I would like the ball to start to the left of our target line, that alignment stick out there. I'm going to open this club face up in my hands, if you can see how much that face in relation to my body is to the right, but it's basically pointed down my target line, even though my stance is this way. And when I finish, I'm going to finish with this club really pointed this direction on the way through. There's some great old videos of Tiger and Sergio playing in tournaments where they've had to hit big slices, and you can see Tiger's finish, and he's holding the club like that, and that's exactly what I'm telling you. That's what they're doing, is they're manipulating the path and the plane of that shaft to hit an extreme shot, okay? So I'm aiming left, my face is pointed to the right, and I'm gonna hold that club off, and for me, that's a big slice, as I tend to be a hooker. That's the other thing we mentioned inside, but if guys some find it easy to hook it and hard to fade it or slice it, and some it's easy to slice it and hard to hook it. So you gotta practice all shots, and we'll do it. So we're gonna bring Patrick up here. You might have to experiment a little bit on your own at the driving range to figure out where to put the ball position. You understand that too?
Yep.
Okay. So Patrick's gonna aim way left.
This has been my default drive for many years, so we'll see if we can recreate it with a 3-wood.
And so, yep, aim left, that's good. Face points down the target line, and you're gonna finish high, basically, right? Yep, there we go. Awesome. That started left of our stick and almost went to the pole to the right of where our target line is.
I've worked hard to get rid of that slice on my drive, so it's kind of fun to try and do it on purpose.
On purpose, yeah. But I love doing things on purpose. For you all that are hookers, if you'll practice slicing it on purpose, it'll help your hook.
Absolutely.
And if you're a slicer, if you can learn how to hook it, you know, it'll really help you learn how not to slice it.
I agree, 100%.
And I tell parents with young players, 6th, 7th, 8th graders that are really good athletes, man, teach them how to hook it, teach them how to slice it. They'll figure out how to hit it straight if they can do both.
Absolutely.
And that's a pretty good strategy for anybody that's learning to improve their swing. And don't be afraid to have fun and experiment. I mean, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's great fun. Yeah.
Right, and so this game's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And so, so experiment and have fun, and don't be afraid to fail. And you'll learn to do this with just these simple tips.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's work on our trajectory a little bit. We're gonna go high and low.
Well, you kind of do that. You're welcome to try to do it high and low. High and low, especially high, depends on the lie of the ball. If it's sitting down, this is pretty hard pan bare grass here in March where we're at, and it's pretty tough when you're trying to hit a draw or a hook to hit it high enough on the face to get it up in the air.
Sure, yep.
Okay? And then, so I will say that, but we're welcome to try. So ball position is going to dictate how high or low we can hit it. So basically, these principles on how to move it left or how to move it to the right will be the same, but if we play it farther back in our stance, then our hands will get more forward at impact. That'll deal off the club and help us hit a lower shot. To hit a higher shot, we've probably got to play it more forward, but we also have to have a really good lie where we can get the club under the ball.
Absolutely.
Understand?
Yep.
So go ahead. We're going to, the draws he actually hit were pretty good high draws, really.
Not bad.
I know. So we'll try to do that first and hit a high draw. And what I would tell you to do is that 7-iron again.
Yep. Oh, no, I got a 5 right now.
Get 7. We're hitting a draw, so we're going to use a lofted club.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm just going to move this alignment stick a little farther forward because I do have a little bit taller grass here.
Okay.
Right.
And teeing it up would be another way to get
Yes, it is, right? Especially to practice, yes.
Yep.
And so with the ball in a lie that he has a chance to hit it up in the air, that'll be great.
So I'm basically...
So you're going to aim to the right with your feet still. Okay. And you're going to play it a little farther forward since you have a better lie.
Yep.
So you would top it if it was a tight lie.
Right.
Playing it forward. And so you're still going to rehearse that finish.
Yep. So I'm going to go
over there,
here,
even more. Good. Good.
Okay.
And if it's possible to hit it high, your shoulders are
Need to be
going to
tilted
help you
too?
launch
Okay.
it. So
Okay.
I would probably try to get your shoulders. The high hook is by far the hardest shot to hit, and it's usually very low handicappers or
Yeah.
professionals that can do it. So,
Okay.
but it's worth learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot.
So a little more tilt.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Good. And you're going to feel like that, and you're going to feel around there. Good. Do it again.
Yeah. A little chunky, but
It wasn't bad.
had the right move.
Yeah, go ahead and tee it up again.
Yeah.
And then, so you just needed to have the ball farther back in your stance, and it'd have been perfect.
Yeah. So that was
See,
just
when you tilted more, that made you bottom out to the right more. Do you understand?
you think that's too teed up? Give it a little.
Not for now. That's okay. Let's see how high we can hit it there.
Okay.
And that's a great way to practice if you're trying to hit it higher. Tee it up at first.
Yeah.
And then as you hit it high, then the next one tee it a little lower.
Until you can do it.
And then just keep progressing until it's on the ground. Yep.
Yep. All right.
Look at that.
Hey,
Wasn't that great?
that's about the highest I can hit it. I
I
think.
know, that is the highest you can hit it.
Yeah, that was
Okay?
awesome.
Good. And to hit it low with a hook is easy. You would just take a less lofted club. Hitting it low is easier. You can always take less loft.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hitting high is harder because if you take more loft, you can't hit it far enough.
And so you want to go back further in your stance.
Yes.
So if I let's say.
And
for
you
a
wouldn't
7,
tilt. You might even go like it's almost for chipping.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So let me try to do the opposite then. And
Yeah.
hit it low. Okay, so I'm gonna be relatively back in my stance now.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm tilted. My
Now your
shoulders
shoulders
are tilted a
are
little
level.
bit, but I'm
Get level.
still
but you're
finishing
still
here.
going to finish over there. And it'll probably hook less than that high one.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, how does this look?
So that looks
Good?
great. Good. Definitely low, right?
Yeah, low. It didn't have a lot of movement on it.
Yeah.
but
Well,
the
it's not going to
trajectory-
have as much.
Yep. That's interesting.
Yeah. So if we needed a lot of movement, what is that? Is that
That's 7.
that's so? Do you have a 9 back there?
I sure do.
Grab a 9. So if we needed more movement, but we still had to hit it low, we will take more loft, which
Okay.
seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But we're going to toe it in more, so we actually de-loft the 9-iron.
Okay, so this is turning it into a 7 or something.
Yes,
Yep,
you
yep.
understand? But now the face will be more closed and
Right.
it'll hook, you understand? So go ahead, level shoulders, and go ahead and finish correctly and hit that one. See what I mean?
Yeah, so that had a little bit more curve on it.
A little, yeah.
Try to give it
Pretty
one more,
cool,
one
huh?
more shot.
Yeah, that's great. I still thought you hit that one just a little thin, or it would have really curved a lot more. So that's okay.
If it's a little thin, does that mean I should put it back just a hair more? You
No,
think
it
just
means
leave
just
it?
practice
Okay.
more.
Well, luckily these are pretty fun to practice. So.
I agree.
I always feel like when I'm on the course too, if I'm trying to kind of hit a specific shot, sometimes I do better than if I'm just kind of hitting it straight, you know? So. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Cool.
That's the secret to golf, folks, if you don't know it, is letting the ball get in the way,
Absolutely.
no matter what shot you're trying to hit.
Yep.
You let your swing do it, and the ball just gets in the way, and
Yep.
you'll be a lot better off, but that's hard to do.
Yeah.
So now we're going to hit some slices.
High and low.
Okay.
So
So-
go back to our.
If we're going to go low first, we're going to grab a wood.
Yep.
And just put that one, on a tee, but low. So a tight lie helps you to slice it. A fluffy lie helps you to hook it.
Okay.
So that's one of the things as a player, you have to evaluate the lie of the ball on every shot. It may be impossible to hit a high hook if it's on hard pan. And it may be really hard to hit a slice if you're in deep rough and the ball's sitting up.
Yeah.
But boy, hitting off this hard pan here, this dormant grass, this is a piece of cake to hit a slice.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the lie of the ball really determines that. So, so you're going to aim more left.
Okay.
Keep it going.
Even more, okay.
Oh yeah, keep going. There we go.
Oh, wow.
But aim the face at the target line.
All right.
Okay, but in your grip, you're not just trusting your hand.
Yeah, this is my normal grip, yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
and then you're going to finish high again. Remember that? Yep, even more. There we go. Good. Go ahead and hit it. Let the ball get in the way. Just make that swing. Wasn't that a nice slice?
Yeah. Awesome.
I know, and you hit that probably 150 yards in the air with no effort, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so
that's even, we got the wind blowing
I know.
right to left a little bit right now.
I know,
so.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And so go ahead and tee up another one. Good. So if you want to hit it even lower, okay.
A little bit even further back.
Yeah, maybe. And even more left. And then more level shoulders. You're still too tilted.
Okay, so I need to be down here more.
You do. Not that much, but yes.
Yeah.
Right in there. So don't lean back.
Okay, like.
So you don't need to be that far back in your stance either. So there you go. Okay. But just don't lean, don't tilt back.
Don't go to the driver.
Don't go like
swing
that.
Like that. Yep.
Okay. Not if you want to hit it low.
Yep.
See the difference?
Yeah.
And it'll slice more the lower it goes. Do you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, that probably had double the curve on it. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. And that's with the wind blowing right to left.
Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty good. The other thing, when we talk about high and low shots, where your head is in relation to the ball makes all the difference in the world, okay? It's where the center of gravity is. Your head, I don't know, weighs 40 pounds or something like that. Somebody will comment on that. 30 pounds, I don't know.
It's like a bowling ball.
It weighs
like
a lot, yes, okay? And so if my head's back here and I get a tilt like this, that's going to promote me to hit the ball up in the air regardless of whether it's a fade, draw, or straight. And then if I want to hit low shots, if I get my head, I'm right-handed, left of the ball, then that's going to promote de-lofting the club and hitting a higher low. So you can experiment with where your head is in relation to the ball. If you are a player that thinks you hit it too high, it means your head's probably way back here at impact. And if you think you hit it too low, probably means your head's up here at impact.
Yeah.
And so you can experiment with that tilt with your body and where your head is in relation to the bottoming out point of your swing, and that'll really dictate how high or low a trajectory that you get.
Yep, absolutely.
And so if you're trying to hit on a windy day low shots, well then you're better. That's why ball back gets your head forward. And that's why ball forward gets your head back. It's really where your center of mass is in regards to whether the ball's going to launch high or low. Okay?
Makes sense.
All right.
Should we try to do a high fade?
Well, sure. Now, you're not going to do that with a 3-wood, though.
So I'll probably do a higher lofted club to do
5
that.
iron,
Yep.
7 iron. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes. And again, if it's going to go high, you're going to get that tilt.
Yep.
And you're going to need a really good lie. And so...
Okay, so...
Yeah, tee it a little lower than that.
How's that?
That's even a little lower.
Lower.
I don't want to make it too easy for you.
All right.
So, what club you have?
It's a 5 iron.
All right, great. And so
it's a little further forward in my stance because I'm trying to go a little higher.
And your right shoulder's going to be lower than your left, right? And your head's going to be behind the ball.
Club face is pointed right at the target line.
Right at the target line and just slightly open. And we're not trying to hit a big slice here.
Right, just
We're just trying to hit a high fade.
Yep.
Right. But then, and just let the ball get in the way on that good finish where you're steeper. There you go, okay? Awesome.
Cool.
Isn't that cool?
It's awesome.
I know, great
Those
job.
are a lot of fun.
All right. So try that at home, try it on your range. If you got questions, leave us a comment. We try to answer most of those. And
Absolutely.
at least say hi, and we appreciate you watching.
We do.
Thanks.
Cool. That was fun.
Yep, good job.